We have all the members of your film crew in custody. They all ratted you out. You have 1 second to comply.
Six years ago, in 2012, SHABAZZ Productions were about to release a new documentary titled Remote Control, H.L. Hunt's Nation of Islam. The film was to examine the relationship between a Texas billionaire, ultra-right-wing conservative, and white supremacist named Harrelson Lafayette Hunt, and a black separatist religious leader named Elijah Muhammad, who led a group called the Nation of Islam. We worked hard on that film. We knew it was going to be a thriller. And then it happened. A filmmaker's worst nightmare. Our computer blew up, and we lost all our data just before we planned on backing everything up. We were depressed, and we considered checking into a mental hospital, not as individuals, but as a group. The relationship with H.L. Hunt and Elijah Muhammad was briefly covered on February 15, 1965, just days before Malcolm X would be assassinated. Malcolm only tapped on it lightly, but planned to completely break it down on February 21, 1965, according to Earl Grant and Robert L. Haggins, two of Malcolm's close associates. Grant and Haggins informed filmmaker SHABAZZ that Malcolm was going to prove that H.L. Hunt owned Elijah Muhammad and the 1965 version of the Nation of Islam. If Malcolm was allowed to speak in more detail about how Elijah Muhammad was able to maintain 2 large mansions, 2 automobiles, several apartment complexes, keep up on the rent and maintenance of dozens of temples throughout America, plus pay his ministers and laborers a monthly fee, a whole lot of receipts would have to be shown. Elijah was hitting Malcolm off alone with $1,000 a month. Here's Malcolm speaking on H.L. Hunt and Elijah.
And I guess many of you have heard it said that his financial support comes from a rich man in Texas. I heard that while I was in the movement. I've heard it more since I left the movement. A rich man in Texas. You can look up, any of you can look up his name. But the FBI knows that too. But they still don't touch him. And never have I seen a man, and this rich man who lives in Texas, by the way, lives in Dallas. His headquarters in Dallas. His money is in Dallas. The same cities where President John F. Kennedy was assassinated. And never have I seen a man in my life more afraid, more frightened than Elijah Muhammad was when John F. Kennedy was assassinated. I've never in my life seen a man as frightened as he was. And when I made the statement that I did, why, he almost cracked up behind it, because there were all kinds of implications to it that at that time were way above and beyond my understanding.
You see, if Malcolm said it, damn it, then it's the truth. Why? Because the man was constitutionally built to tell the truth, unlike his detractors who suffered from liabilities. Though we didn't finish our film on H.L. Hunt and Elijah Muhammad, we must pull your coat to a 1973 movie about the JFK assassination called Executive Action that starred Burt Lancaster, Robert Ryan, Will Geer, and others. The movie is about the ruthless cabal who assembled to murder President John F. Kennedy. In the book, Malcolm X, The Man at His Times, Earl Grant refers to the cabal as the old ones. Grant points out how these political assassinations are always carried out with rehearsals and practice, as in Malcolm's case, inside the Autobahn ballroom. The old ones in the power structure that act in this stunning motion picture are ready to carry out the assassination, but they need the financial support of someone with an inexhaustible reserve of money for a payroll for all the participants. The man who will finance the hit is played by actor Will Geer, portrayed as H.L. Hunt. It's no wonder when this motion picture came out, it was censored worldwide. Another movie about political assassinations is the 1974 motion picture The Parallax View, about political assassinations that are committed by a secretive organization and diabolically covered up. Just like executive action, you'll be mesmerized and locked in your chair. And the conclusion will also blow you away. Have you seen that episode of Mission Impossible when Barney was brainwashed and turned into an assassin? That episode is essential viewing. What about that episode of The Outer Limits, The 100 Days of the Dragon, aired on September 23, 1963, when Communist China infiltrated the White House and a United States candidate predicted to win the presidency was replaced by a lookalike, an imposter? It's essential viewing.